Hey guys, my name's Luke. I'm a Brisbane buyer's agent. I run my own buyer's agency called Purpose Property. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can have tax-free money and how you can grow your wealth quickly without handing over 50% to the government every year. Now, if you're interested in seeing more on our property portfolio, you can jump back into one of our past videos where we break down the numbers on our property portfolio. Now, today's video is about tax-free money. Really, property is a game of capital growth. Cash flow is fantastic. You got to balance your cash flow. But what most people are looking for to get themselves out of the rat race, to get them out of their 9-to-5 job that they may or may not love, is capital growth and creating value and equity in your property portfolio that can then give you future cash flow. So how do you go about doing that, and how do you get tax-free money? Don't you have to buy and sell and pay 50% to the government throughout the process? How exactly have Emily and I done that? So let's talk about it. Now, the reason Emily and I love value-add opportunities and holding those opportunities is because you don't have to pay tax if you value-add and pull out debt against the property. Now, debt is not tax. So if you increase your debt against the property, you actually reduce your tax because your interest bill is going to be larger. Now, if you can have other investments with tax-deductible debt against them, that's where you can build up buffers against your principal place of residence and have your investments working for you off to the side. Now, what's the best way to get capital gains? You can either manufacture them, or you can wait for the market to appreciate over a long period of time and let the market compound growth year on year. Emily and I have chosen to manufacture growth and use long-term capital growth to grow our property portfolio. And that's really how we've been able to fast track our journey to where we are today. We're lucky enough to have a reasonably sized property portfolio and still be in our 20s. And the way we were able to do that is from a lot of sweat equity. You don't have to go out and do the projects yourself, but that's a really good way to learn about the process of renovating and developing properties. It can give you an understanding of what things cost on the ground, but you don't have to do it yourself. You can also hire contractors, trades, chippies, electricians, plumbers to do all this work for you. It will reduce the profitability a little bit, but you can also create that growth through hiring other people to do the work for you. Now, why do we advocate for manufacturing growth as well as riding capital growth at the same period of time? It's because you get that double compounding effect. You can force growth in a property and you can also ride the wave of growth. So the way we force growth is we buy an ugly duckling, so a property that might need some paint, some carpet, some flooring, maybe a new bathroom and kitchen, but has brilliant bones. You can see in the baby Queenslander, which was our real first full renovation by ourselves without outsourcing to other trades. That series is 10 videos of Emily and I learning on the job about how to do renovations ourselves. Now, we definitely made mistakes on that project, but it also created a lot of value in the property. There was room to breathe, essentially, because we were doing the work ourselves. Even if we made a few mistakes, we could always hire trades to fix our mistakes. Now, you might not be willing to do that yourself, so run the numbers and look at what it might cost to pay some trades and make sure that you're going to potentially double your money. So if you're spending $20,000, you want to increase the value of your property by $40,000. It's important not to over capitalize in this situation, but really what you're looking to achieve is spending a little bit of money and doubling or tripling it if you can. Now, how is all of that tax-free? So if your capital growth occurs and you force manufacture value, how is that increase in value tax-free? So if you bought the property for $500, you spent $20,000 or $30,000, and the property is now worth $600,000 after 2 years. Now, you haven't got that money in your bank account. You also don't have that money in your pocket. So how's it really tax-free? The way we do it is you can pull out debt against that property, like I said earlier, and use that cash to make more investment purchases, or the increase in value can also increase the rental yield, which is going to increase your cash flows. So there's two ways to do it. You can live off the equity, which is kind of an old scenario that lots of gurus used to do back in the 2000s, or there's more of the modern day take, which is to live off cash flow. But the only way that you can get cash flow is to create a disparity between your debt and your asset value. So we're trying to create as much equity as we can. And so we're creating equity through that manufactured value or long-term capital growth. Now, I hope that all hasn't gotten you confused, but at the end of the day, Emily and I decided never to sell our properties, or not never, rarely ever sell our properties. So if you're a property flipper, you're in a whole different ballpark. But for the everyday investor, Driving manufactured growth and riding the wave of capital growth is the greatest way to create equity, which is completely tax-free, and live off the cash flows down the track. If you've got any questions about equity and capital growth and manufacturing value, leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a chat. I love talking with you guys in the comments and talking all things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom. If you want to check out one of our most recent videos, click over here, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Or if you're a property flipper, property flipper? Oh my gosh, you gotta put that at the end of this video, a property flipper.